talking about your Affordable Homes Act, which I hear is on the floor tomorrow.
It is.
So what inspired you to write that, and how are your constituents responding to it?
Well, the constituency, I think, is responding very well to any effort that we're trying to do to reduce costs. We've been suffering under the Biden economy for many years. Since the overspending in COVID, we still haven't really recovered from that economically. It's going to take a while, but one of the things I hear about most, especially from young people, is that it is very difficult for them to purchase their first home. So the Affordable Homes Act takes a Biden-era regulation under the Department of Energy, which was for energy efficiency standards under the Green New Deal, that increased the cost of manufactured housing by $10,000 to $15,000 per door, per unit, just based on these arbitrary energy efficiency standards. Manufactured housing is among the most energy efficient housing that we have, especially for first-time home buyers. So it's a myth to say that manufactured housing was somehow not already energy efficient. Add on these standards on top of that, it unnecessarily increased the cost of owning a home. For a population and people who are trying to buy their first home that could least afford to prioritize energy efficiency over a roof over their head. So the Affordable Homes Act puts HUD, the Housing and Urban Development, squarely in charge of manufactured housing regulation. It removes these Biden-era 2022 energy efficiency standards, which we're adding to the cost of owning a home. And it allows for DOE to have an advisory role on energy efficiency for the Housing and Urban Development Agency, but not authority. This clarity will result in, I think, more manufactured housing being built, and the cost reductions that we're seeing in this bill will result in more people being able to get in and realize the benefits of home ownership.
It sounds like a big part of what's driving up the cost is the energy regulations that we've seen from the Department of Energy. So could you just explain for our audience how much of a chunk of those regulations actually causes the price spikes that we're seeing with the cost of housing?
Well, if you think about just this regulation alone, this is one regulation that was from the Department of Energy, one federal agency, one regulation, adding to the cost of owning a manufactured home $10,000 to $15,000 per door. That's one. Now, then you add on to that many other federal regulations. You add state and local regulations, and regulation alone contributes up to 38% of the cost of building a home. And that's only in regulation. So if we can cut the red tape, this is one thing we can do. Should we do more, and will we do more? Absolutely. But this is one thing we can do to help first-time home owners achieve the American dream of home ownership. Do we want to do more? Absolutely. We want to follow President Trump's lead. He is leading on trying to reduce the cost of owning a home, too, by his new proposal, right, which will not allow investors to purchase. It's only for single-family homes or for single families, not these big investment companies. So I'm pretty certainly grateful that this bill is going to be passing through the House this week, and grateful to my co-leads, Congressman Mike Flood and Jake Auchincloss. It's a bipartisan bill. We actually got 30 Republicans to vote for the bill in the committee, which was unanimous.
30 Republicans?
30 Republicans and 16 Democrats voted for the bill out of committee.
Wow.
We do expect some Democrat support on the floor when this bill comes.
Wow.
And it's a great, great first step. We're very excited to see it happen. This cannot come soon enough for young American families.
Can you address the other side of the aisle with regards to those who may be opposed to this? We'll see this probably in the debate tomorrow if you haven't already debated this bill. But some would say that it would cause trouble for the environment, or it wouldn't do enough to protect the environment if you eliminate these regulations. Yeah. What would you say to those who are critical of it?
We had these debates in committee. A couple of things that I would say is manufactured housing is already energy efficient. This is an unnecessary and arbitrary standard on top of what's already very efficient housing. Second, when we are having families that can't afford to get in a home, that's the chief concern that we should be focused on. Let's get roofs over people's heads. Let's let them achieve the dream of home ownership by getting into a home, and let them, through personal choice, decide the energy efficiency and that they want in order to make their monthly budgets. Not force the issue of energy efficiency up front, thereby making the cost of housing too much for them to afford and put them into a rental unit or worse. Let's reduce that cost up front and let them decide for themselves how energy efficient they want to be based on their household budgets.
It looks like this affordability issue with regards to housing and other issues will be a main messaging point from Republicans this year as we approach the midterms. Democrats are, of course, trying to push that message very strongly at this point. Was that a big topic at your retreat on Tuesday with the president?
We talked about many things at the retreat. This is certainly something that we discussed, is how do we talk to the American people about what we've already done in the One Big Beautiful Bill, the tax relief that's coming, the reduction in healthcare premiums by 11% based on the healthcare bill that we passed at the end of the year. We have to tell the story about what we've done in 2025 and what we're going to do in 2026. And affordability is something that the American people are concerned about. I think once this working families tax cut comes into effect, people start to see the benefits of that. The health care bill reducing premiums by 11%. This economy is going to come roaring back, and I think that some of these concerns of Democrats are going to certainly they're going to still say them. They're still going to talk about them.
Right.
But the reality is it won't be felt as much back home. And that's what's most important. Let's get that relief. I think it's coming. I'm certainly going to keep working every single day to keep driving down the cost and keep boosting this economy. GDP growth has been well above the Congressional Budget Office's projections. I think we're at 4%, and they were projecting 1.8%. CBO always undervalues what we think growth will be. So to think that we're having 4% economic growth now when under the Biden years it was pretty stagnant is remarkable, and I think we will see the benefits of that in 26.
There's now talk about a second reconciliation bill. Is this something that you all would be including in that reconciliation bill? Does housing have a place in that?
I will certainly be advocating for not only housing, but also health care. We've got a lot we can still do on health care reform. We've done a lot. We did some PBM reform, some transparency, again, reducing the cost of premiums by 11% in the health care bill that we did. Can we and should we do more? Yes. I mean, if we didn't have things to do here, we would all be out of jobs. There's always work to be done. I think it is incumbent upon us to listen to the American people and respond in ways that we think are fiscally responsible, and we'll solve the problem, and that's what we're going to be focused on.
I'd like to ask you before you go about the ACA vote you just took. So it passed, I think. What is your message to those Republicans who broke with leadership on this, making it a more politically sensitive issue than it already is?
Well, in the district back home, what we've been telling people, and what is true, is that what the Democrats did with the Affordable Care Act, they broke the health care system. It was not affordable. It turned out to be completely unaffordable, to the point where we had to subsidize healthcare premiums. And these subsidies were going to tens of thousands of dollars in subsidies for healthcare premiums were going to millionaires. That's what the Democrats were fighting for, as well as $350 billion direct to insurance companies. The American people never would see a dime, not $1 of the premium subsidy. It was going directly to insurance companies. President Trump said it really well. That money should go directly to the American people. And I agree. I think it should go to the American people. Let's expand health savings accounts like we did in the most recent health care legislation. But let's also open up the private market for more underwriting, which is the antithesis to what they did under the Affordable Care Act. They wanted no competition. We want more competition. We want more underwriting of these private plans. That will drive down the cost. And to the Republicans that broke with leadership, everybody here in this building represents their own districts, right? Yeah. I took a vote that I thought was representative of the district because I don't want taxpayers to continue to fund the bills and to provide high salaries for insurance companies. I want this. I want to do things that actually drive down the cost of healthcare, like we did in the healthcare bill at the end of the year.
I didn't ask you about the Senate support for your Affordable Homes Act. Do you have Senate support? Do you have like a partner bill over in the Senate with Democrats on it? Do you think
there's not currently a companion bill in the Senate? We do hope that this bill will move through the Senate and ultimately end up on the president's desk.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time, Congresswoman.